Welcome to Wall Street Confidential. We're discussing the recent headline over the weekend where we are learning that the FBI is investigating Countrywide, alleged misrepresentation of its financials and explain the quality of its loans. Now, what does this mean for the relationship between Bank of America and Countrywide? Countrywide saying that it will pursue that Bank of America will pursue its merger with Countrywide. Jim Cramer, do you think that this is actually going to materialize?
Well, if Bank of America, I mean, look, we're at a crucial moment. We're back in 1990, and every time I've ever strayed from this analogy, I've always been wrong. Major banks went out of business in 1990, or had to merge, and Bank of America buying Countrywide is now looking like a terrible move. So if I were Bank of America, I'd be looking for ways to take a beating and walk away from this. And the FBI investigation should provide you.
It's like a blessing in disguise.
Well,
for them.
I would think so, but and they obviously are buying this incredibly troubled asset where I think that the losses are just overwhelming. It does have a deposit base, but I mean, we're in an every man for himself moment, and anybody who has any ego on the line who is in the financials is just desperately wrong here. I look at Bank of America, and without Countrywide, they're in pretty good shape. Why? Because they have a good franchise, and they could conceivably go hat in hand to a sovereign fund and sell 10% of the company, which they may have to. There's a Citigroup can do that, Bank of America can do that, Wells Fargo can do that. I don't even know if Wachovia can do that. Because Wachovia may not be big enough company. The sovereign funds are they're like marquee. They would give money to a marquee brand, but a non-marquee. The real danger in this market is to the Nat Cities, the Huntington Banks, the Downey Savings and Loans, the BKUNAs, the FEDs, to Capital One, which I think is in a lot of trouble, and maybe to Wachovia, which has this 9% yield, which is frightening in itself. But Bank of America is not in that group, except for they've put themselves in that group because of Countrywide. Bank of America is one of these companies that has assets it could sell. There are people who would like to take 10% of it. Bank of America should walk away from this deal. Now, there was a time when you say, okay, look, they would have such a big share of the mortgage market. That would be great. But, the mortgage market may not be any good for a long time. There may not be enough. You can't securitize these mortgages. No one's buying that stuff. So you're stuck with them on your balance sheet anyway. So I would urge Bank of America to walk away from this. Now, they cut rates the Fed cuts rates to 2. They start buying back AAA paper, do all these things that could really be special. And maybe Bank of America could get away with the Countrywide. But right now, I think they're jeopardizing their franchise, and you should never jeopardize your franchise.
Do you think that they believe that all those Fed actions will take place? I mean, what are they riding on right now? What's the hope?
They're right to believe that. It's always worked before. But you have to be there. You have to survive when it works. And the lesson of 1990 was that very few survived. And I think the lesson this time is unless you have a very big brand name and a very big deposit base, you may not survive. Like, look, Washington Mutual may not survive. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, and there were all these backstops. They told you you had monoline insurance. Well, we know what happened with AMBAC and MBI. Well, they raised this capital, but they're not going to help you. You always knew that you have FDIC insurance, whatever. These your share. I think that like Fannie Mae, your deposit at Bank of America is safe. I think the loan process of Fannie Mae is safe, but the equity may not be safe.
Right. All right, so thank you very much, Jim Cramer, talking about the latest with Bank of America and Countrywide. Stay tuned for more on TheStreet.com TV.
That's your action point. Take advantage of it.